Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. It's great to have you here. I'm Matthew. I'm the evangelist for Machinations. I'm going to tweak where Cesar's face is slightly. Say hi, Cesar.
Hello, everyone.
Perfect. I think everybody can hear you and everybody can hear me. I'm going to put some mics on. So today, obviously, purpose of these live streams ideally is to answer anybody's questions you have about Machinations, and to if you've got any general questions, something you're not sure about, this is the ideal place to drop it, and Cesar and I will be keeping an eye on the chat and answering any questions that you have. We thought if while we're waiting for any questions or anybody's got anything, we thought we'd have a go at building top trumps in Machinations, which is something I think came up in our Discord channel recently, and we thought, wow, I don't think we've got anything like that. Is that right, Cesar?
Yeah, it came up on Intercom, and it made me realize that we don't really have a PvP style of card game that in which we simulate gameplay. Top Trumps style is definitely one of the easier ones to do, so I thought maybe we can do something in today's live stream.
Perfect. And if you are around, please do say hi in the chat and let us know you're around and who you are and where you are in the world. It's always interesting to see where our streams are reaching. I'm going to tweak the setup slightly so we can see some components. We're live editing this, so Cesar's already in this document inside this canvas with me. So Cesar, top trumps, where are we going to start with that?
Well, to be honest, when I received the question, I didn't know what a top trump card game was. I looked it up. So apparently, yeah, we have a version, sort of a top trump style game in Romania. It's called Război, where you turn two cards face up. Each player turns one card, and the higher card wins, which is kind of what these type of games are. But in here, the difference is that you have each card has more than one stat. Because in the Romanian version, you would use a standard deck of cards, so the ace would be the king, the queen would be the 7, and so on. If you have more skills, then that gives more depth to the game. But I'm thinking we're going to have a deck of cards. We're going to have two players with the same deck, maybe, or we can even give them different decks. And each of the cards is going to have let's say 4 skills. It really doesn't matter. We can adjust that as we go, and build the mechanic of comparing the two, comparing a certain skill, and the player that wins the face off, so to speak.
I'm amazed that you hadn't spent a long time playing top trumps. I spent hours and hours and hours playing top trumps, every different variety of them. I guess that's because maybe I'm slightly older than you, Cesar, and when I was younger we didn't have multiplayer games very much.
I don't know.
So top trumps was the go-to. I think football ones, car ones, tank ones, I remember.
I think they weren't as popular here. I think that's the reason, mostly, because I don't know any of my friends who play top trumps, actually, aside from our own standard variant. Yeah. So
does anybody else remember top trumps? Is it just me? Yeah, just many hours. Right. So I've done 4 pools and now I've got stuck, Cesar. How are we going to build it?
Okay, so we're gonna do 4 skills.
4 or 5.
So first of all, yeah, let's do 4.
Actually, before we get into it, let's do a stupid core game loop of top trumps, which is, there's an interesting. We were talking this week actually about positive reinforcement loops, and actually you get a really interesting part of top trumps, and like, just to go over the gameplay for anyone that doesn't or hasn't played top trumps a lot. The way in which you do it is you deal out all the cards. Both players then have got their cards. They'll you go through them in order of however they come up, or this is certainly how I played it. Probably rules vary, so don't quote me. You pull out a card. It's whatever theme the pack of cards is, and you then you call out one of the stats on the top trump. So you'd say, if it was a car, you'd say, oh, top speed, Jaguar XJS 220, 220 miles an hour. And then your opponent would have to read out their top speed of whichever card they had next. And whoever won would get all the cards, get those 2 cards. If you had a draw, you would then move on to the next card, and whoever won would get all 4 cards.
Okay, I didn't know what happened in case of a draw. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
So then you kind of get this flow where you'd then be looking at, you know, which if you then got a lot of cards, it meant that the chances are you'd have a lot of good cards, and that meant that you would have like a positive reinforcement loop that, you know, if you had more and more of the good top cards, you were more likely to win. And if you started losing, you lost your cards, and then you had less cards, chances are you would lose. But if you, in your hand, you then had like 1 card, but it happened to be like one of the best cards, it was like the opposite effect, because you did have a positive reinforcement loop, because the only card you had was a really good one. So every time that came up, and it would come up more often, you'd win more hands. So I guess it's a 2-player game at least. I think we used to play it with more people, but we could look at just 2 players playing the game.
Yeah.
And I guess the loop would then be something. Let's go back to that stream. Would be something around, you know, what number are you going to generate? Is it going to be higher or lower? And I'm going to do something similar here. It's just a really simple core game mechanic. I'm making this up, Chesa. Can you tell?
I can tell. But I'm gonna be making it up as well. I mean, we didn't plan ahead for this. We just thought we would build it on the spot. So
well, I think that's half the fun of these live streams.
Probably, yeah. Oh, you want to do it like this? Okay.
Well, just for the...
Yeah. I get what you mean.
The first one.
Yeah.
So what's that going to do? That's going to go, they're going to be high or low, whatever. And then...
Well, they should be random, right?
Yeah. And let's do this so that... Hold on. This is player 1. The super trick that I have, Chesa, is my top tip for live streaming. That if you're not quite sure what you do, just write some labels and give yourself some time to work it out. I'm going to do a register.
You know what you can do? Because I mean, you can do it with high and low. High and low are going to be equal a lot of the time, right? If you compare the two. Yeah. I think you can generate a dice value between, let's say, 1 and 10 and compare the 2 values.
Oh, I like that. That's way better. Why am I doing all this crap? Well done, yes. And then let's do a...
D10?
D10, yeah. And then we could do higher, lower.
We can do compare even.
Or compare?
Yes. And it will return 1 if the first one is higher, and -1 if the second one is higher, and 0 if they're equal.
Is that right? Compare AB?
Yes.
Oh. I like it. So then we need automatic drain.
Yes.
hope everybody likes the music. We've got new music this week, which is Riot Games free music that they created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with something like 20 cards each. How many is 52 cards in a deck?
We shouldn't do 52 cards. Come on.
26. 26 each. And I'm going to create a loop. And I'm going to make that automatic pull any. Automatic pull any. So which way does this go? Let's have a look. Step it. So that's -1 if it goes there. And
no, it's -1 goes to the right.
-1 goes to the right. So player 2's got the best. So we want one card to move from the left to the right when it's -1.
Yeah, but first of all, both connections are into the same direction.
Oh, did I? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
Well spotted. So if it's -1, did I set that as push? Oh, it's pull. I'm going to set it as push.
If you condition you condition the pull itself. If you condition the resource connection, it doesn't matter if it's push or pull.
That's true. I'm going to do the pulls. Oh no, sure. I shouldn't do the pulls. I should do the connections because otherwise it won't be available to receive any. Oh. And that's going to be less than 1. No, less than 0.
Less than 0, yeah.
And then the other connection, I'm going to move that so it's easier to see. And that's going to be if it's
higher than 0.
Greater than 0. Oh, but I didn't set my drain to automatic.
I suggest we make the connections instant so we can actually see the numbers in the pools. So also
I'm going to set those up as -1 on the display.
Yes, exactly.
Great. I'm going to set those at -1. That's -1. Give it a go. So at the moment it's kind of slightly lopsided because it's basically 50-50 chance whether or not you win or lose. There's no real more to it than that.
Yes.
So it'll probably carry on forever. But let's just set an end condition on both of those.
Equal to 0?
Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, that's top trumps. There's a simplified game loop for top trumps. There's no stats involved. It's just random 50-50 whether or not you win or lose. I guess the way in which you'd could expand this is to influence the number on the stat. So firstly I'm going to make it 100 rather than D10, and then I'm going to add to it whichever number they've got here. So hopefully this will produce a positive reinforcement loop whereby whichever hand is winning will start to win more and more until it gets to the end. Still not particularly scientific or a good simulation, but a fun little model of top trumps. It stays super balanced for a while, but then the second it starts going, that's both a positive reinforcement loop on behalf of the winning player and a negative reinforcement loop on behalf of the losing player.
Yeah.
But Cesar, how should we expand this?
Well, I have to say that seeing your model now, my thinking seems very ambitious. Well, I thought we would. What I thought initially we can do is generate a deck of cards. I don't think there's going to be 52 cards. I think it's going to be less. And each of the cards is going to have 4 stats, whichever it is, like, doesn't matter. And when we compare stats, we're going to compare one stat picked at random, or we can do the highest stat for the player that chooses. That depends on us. And then we can have that system that you have right now on the top, where the winning player wins the card. Now, the way I see it, if we want to do 4 stats and have a look at the cards individually, we're probably gonna need to store them somehow.
So I was thinking there's a couple of ways we could do that. Either we could do 4 pools, or alternatively, each card could be an array with,
yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
like, some made-up numbers in it. So for those of you that haven't seen arrays before, this is a register. It's got kind of 4 numbers in it. What we could do, we could go crazy, Cesar, and just do random int across all 4. So it's 4 random numbers, but that might make it overly complex.
Not overly complex, but so I like the idea of us having, let's say we have a deck of 10 cards, and we know what each card in that deck is, right? We know their stats. So I like the idea of the players actually having those cards. So if they capture a card, they don't capture a random int card. That's going to be a different card next time it's played, right? Because it's random.
Yeah.
They capture the exact card that was played and play that later. That's why I want them to have non-changeable values.
That makes sense. Well, this kind of works, and then we could do something on this to say who owns it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. We can do who owns that card, and when we pick from the 2 cards to compare, we can randomly draw one of the cards, right? That's what I'm thinking, and put up against the other player's card as well. But theory might be easier than actually implementing it. We'll see, because what you're doing right now is how I was originally imagining it as well, but let's see. I think we should do 10 cards. Is that enough? I think it's quite okay.
Let's kick off with 10, and then we can we can always tweak that as we go along.
So duplicate another
4?
I'll duplicate it, it's fine.
You're on it, okay.
Yeah.
And at the moment, these have all got the same stats. Shall I just...
Yes.
I'm going to do a cheat to give you some random numbers.
Well, honestly, you can do a random int in there, because we won't change their values, right? I mean, we're not going to influence those registers. So the value that they get at the start is the one that they have during the entire execution, right? If we build it that way.
Oh, I see. So actually, each game the stats are different. But the card's owned. I like that.
Yes, this is live for anyone asking.
Oh, hi Daniel. So I'm going to do it between 0 and 100.
And if anyone has any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. Like, any type of question, not necessarily regarding to what we're building here. So what are you doing, Matt? Oh, you're punching a bunch of random numbers in there.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I actually got that right. Oh yeah, look at that, I did.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. And now it's a copy paste.
9 more of them.
I would have pasted the formula into the field.
Oh yeah, that's much easier. Thanks for telling me that now, Cesar.
you, I don't know. I didn't expect this. It surprised me.
I can undo, but no, I'm committed now.
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't undo either.
Talk amongst yourselves during the super exciting types numbers in. You start at the right.
Go from
side.
Yeah.
You've got to work out the next bit because now I'm stuck. I've got this far, Cesar, but it's all on you now. No pressure. I got the last
just
one.
a sec.
So now when we hit play, boom, they're grayed out because they're not connected to anything. So Machinations isn't doing anything with them. But if I zoom right in, you can see each one's given a random set of numbers, and unless we did something to trigger the register, it's going to carry on just with whichever 4 numbers it's generated at the start of the simulation. It's going to keep those throughout the simulation.
Yes. Okay, so now we're gonna need to pull out 2 cards to compare. So we're gonna have to, let's just for testing sake or for building sake, let's give the first 5 cards to player 1 to the red player, and let's give the bottom 5 cards to the blue player, right? So let's fill their pools accordingly.
Oh, you're just sticking 1 in each?
Yeah, I think that will signify the ownership of the card.
You remember who it was that asked you about the top trump?
I have a name.
You're going to have to tell them.
I told them that we will be building this live.
Oh,
today. They said they'll join. I don't know if they did. Right, so this is the ownership of the card. The top one has the first 5, the bottom one has the last 5. Now, what we need to do each step or each turn is to randomly pull one of these cards, right? In order to compare them.
Yes.
How are we gonna do that? Well, they're gonna have equal chance, obviously. I'm thinking now if we should also have...
Well, there's no reason for us to do this randomly. We could literally just go down the line.
Sure.
And actually, that would make more sense. Because, like, when you won some cards in top trumps, the ones that you won would go to the bottom of your deck. And so you'd kind of always be going in the same sort of order. So
yeah, I get what you mean.
Let's have red start here, blue start here. So we're always comparing this one and this one. And so the first 5 hands are really simple because you've always got them. And then what's going to happen is if player 1 beats this one, it's going to move this resource from here to here. I guess similar to what we did here. So we could have a little loop set up between the top.
Well, first of all, the first thing we want to do is determine which stat we want to compare, right? Because we're only going to compare one stat at a time. And my question is, I don't know what you're doing there, but we'll get back to that. The stats that we compare, it's gonna be picked randomly.
Well, it's whichever player has control is going to pick their highest stat.
Yes.
So it's going to be a max lookup of a certain stat number.
Yeah, since all stats have the same limits, then a max is easy to do.
Yeah, so if I hit play, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, let's make this interactive for a moment and just compare two cards. Just to talk about the logic. What they set for, they're set for poll. Okay. So if I do a step now.
I see you want to transfer ownership when comparing the two. Yeah, but if
I'm the red player, I'm going to say stat number 3, 85, because that's my highest stat on the card. But this player here has got 92 as their stat number 3. Therefore, give us your card. So they now own that card. And then we go on to the next one and we say, right, these two, who's got the best card? Blue's then going to go first. He's going to go, oh, I've got a 99. I'm unbeatable. Boom. Stat number 2, 99. Move that resource down. Blue's then winning. Ooh. This time, red would say 84 versus 65. Red wins, so red gets that card. And so on and so on and so on.
I see what you mean. I think that works, yeah, but we're not gonna we just have to figure out how to compare the two.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be comparing card 1 to card 6 in the beginning, right?
Yeah, or we could change that and just alternate them all the way along to make the construction easier. I don't really suppose it matters.
I don't really think it matters, yeah. It's not gonna be easy either way. So
this could be a really interesting stream. It could be come and watch Matthew and Cesar fail at building a top trumps game.
At least you're gonna know why we failed. Maybe someone else has a better idea.
Yeah.
It's not really a fail. The thing we have to do now is pull up one card from each and compare the maximum stat, right? That one player picks. So I guess we need. So first construction I'm gonna make a bit above yours is player priority. So we know which is the one that picks the stat, right? So they're gonna go back and forth. Let me align them first. So depending on who wins, can you color them accordingly, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and depending who wins, let's say that red starts with priority, so they pick the stat. And if red wins, if I understand correctly, it's kind of a snowball game. If red wins, they pick the stat next time as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so whoever wins gets to have priority. And whoever has priority shall pick their own maximum out of their card, right?
Yeah.
That should be the logic here. Cool. Do we keep the comparison one on the top? I think we can. Or do you want to have that separate for, just a basic model? do we touch the part on the top that you built with the dices and the...
Oh, at the top here? No, we don't need this. This was just a...
No, don't delete it, but I'm just wondering if you can use it. Because what we want to do is compare two stats. I'm talking now because I'm thinking about how to do that, actually. Trying to feel
did you do something where we say, right, this... How can you kind of reverse look up a stat? So say, for example, this one is...
I'm pretty sure if you send... Sorry, I'm pretty sure if you send that as A, so if you send that array as A, you can just do max A and it will return the maximum value. I'm pretty sure it works like that.
Yeah. Just like that?
Yes.
Yeah. That gives the max number. But how can you look up which position it is? Is there a way of doing that? So if we want to look up the second position, is there a way of working that out so we can compare it to the second position?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Because otherwise it would be really easy. If it was just look up max, we could then just do another one from that one and do the same thing, right?
Yes.
Then just do max A. That would be really easy. And we'd go, oh, look, this one's 1. But that's comparing stat 3 with stat 4, and that's cheating.
That's why I was thinking of having the stat being picked randomly.
Oh, I see.
Because I want the stat to be picked because I want us to be able to reverse look, as you said, into an array.
So if we were to chuck 1 to 4. And then we had a register. This formula, I'm pretty sure is above me. Give me a go. I'm gonna have a go at this. Compare max.
Don't do max. We pick the position.
So A square B square.
Yes, it's AC square actually.
Oh yes. Yes. And then comma.
You don't need the parentheses.
No?
No.
Okay. And then B square, C square. I put another set of parentheses in there.
Yes.
Fun.
Yes. That should compare the stat which you get from the... I would also make the connection instant, which I will. And I would also make the drain connection instant, yeah. And set it to all.
We're going a bit
so
fast. I might slow that down a bit.
Yeah. Shouldn't we compare the same index? Well, we are comparing the same index. The index is the C variable that's coming from the pool, so the index is the same for both. The source on the left generates a number between 1 and 4, which is going to be the index that we compare. And then we compare the same index in both A and B. So yeah, it's just that the method in which we pick the index is random.
So now,
but now the game is fair now.
I guess that's just comparing these two, and each time we start it, I'll zoom in so you can see these numbers now. Each time we start, we've got different numbers being generated.
I read the comment 10 minutes after it was typed. Okay, never mind.
And actually, card 1's always going to win. Card 1 is a significantly better card than card 2. Where does it win? Oh, it just wins on stat number 3. So
Yes.
only if stat number 3 is drawn will it win. Nice. So actually, I think that's really good, but that only does 2 cards, and it doesn't have the logic for which card is being played next.
Well,
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that, that, and that, and that. I like this bit of the generating which random stat to use. Can line it all up beautifully. However, I'm then going to add a register here, which is just going to do something slightly simpler, which is it's going to pull. Oh, I'm running out of space already. I'm going to give myself lots more space. Every week we do this thing where we copy and paste far too early. Have you noticed this, Cheza?
I'm trying to figure out what you're doing right now. I'm focused on that.
I've got a super plan now.
I'm trying to figure out what that plan is. I hope you'll blow my mind.
So, what I'm going to do now is it's just going to look up what this stat number is on each card.
You want to do that for every card?
Because we're going to need that for every card, and then do a compare off of that, which is then selecting which card it is, rather than like which card's being played by each player.
Woof! It's gonna be so. I'm envisioning
it's
it.
Gonna be register catastrophe.
Register and connection fiesta, but
it's all right. We gave ourselves 16 hours for this live stream, didn't we, Chezar? So we got plenty of time.
So everyone today is gonna learn the most efficient way to build connections.
Let's stop doing all this silly shenanigans. I'm just going to delete all of these. Try delete them, and then we can just copy and paste this one.
We can.
That's going to be easier than doing it one by one.
Maybe. We maybe don't even copy them at the moment. We can just focus on 2 cards and see the logic, and after that we add the rest.
That's why you're so good at this, Chezar. I was going to do it. I was going to make the same mistake again. I was going to go through, copy and paste them all, and then do the next step. But you're way ahead of me. I'll stick that in there. There's my A. Here comes my B.
I'm gonna move these to the. I don't even know where to move them. Just out of the way.
You can probably make the text.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
I'm doing it. Get off. It's mine.
No, we're both doing it.
You do it.
How large is 9? Okay.
What size did you do?
I'm mimicking yours.
Oh, I see. Another top tip: once you've built your really big, complicated formula, just make it really small so you don't have to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a top tip or what are you doing now?
I have no idea.
Okay. So I'm going to put 1 in there.
Yeah. We only need to compare it once, exactly.
And then a 0 in there. So we now have a system that's generating us 2 numbers, the max base of. It's not even the max actually, it's just looking up the number in each of these registers to see what's going on.
Exactly, Daniel. I do have. Sorry, Matthew. Daniel made a great remark that I got the cleaner by my side. Matthew is the man for the job here. He's got a great artistic sense. He always finds the best way to arrange the connections.
Sometimes.
Most of the times.
Yeah. depends. I start off with the brilliant intentions of making a really beautiful diagram, and then it gradually just cascades into chaos.
Right, so now we're gonna pick maybe do 2 more cards. Let's do 2 more cards, so we have 2 cards for each player, right? Let's
Okay.
just copy paste this structure.
Am I doing it? Or are you doing it?
You do it.
Okay.
I have the advantage of seeing your screen. You don't have the advantage of seeing mine, so.
That's true. So I'm gonna need a couple of bees. Those nice and pretty.
By the way, when anyone builds stuff like this, I strongly suggest you leave the grid on if you want the models to look nice like this. Keep the grid on because we have a snap to grid function.
Top tip though, if you want the grid without having the grid, you can just make it like that, and then
exactly
the grid's there, but you can't see it.
Exactly, an even better tip.
I should do that because it looks much better on the stream.
Actually, I should do that as well.
I'm saying that like I thought about it a long time ago. I've only just come up with it.
It was just a random flash of genius. This is obviously how we do it every day here.
Yeah.
So we have the two different cards for both players. I think we should introduce a mechanic now where each turn we pick one card out of those.
So I was trying to think about something where the card, like a player token almost, moves down the road to the next available card.
That would be one way to do it, yeah. If you wanna, but as you said, because the thing that you said at the beginning made a lot of sense, where if you capture, technically, if after you play a card, it goes on the bottom, you will play them in the same order. So yeah, that makes sense.
So if this was, I don't know if this will work, or how this could work.
I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing either.
Okay, it's fine. It's giving me time to think. If anyone in the chat has any ideas, please let us know. Unless you've come here today to learn, in which case you're gravely mistaken. You're here to help us today.
I was thinking of something.
I know you want to transport them, but you already noticed that you have to have connections between every single pool.
Yeah, that's just going to be a pain. So I've got a better idea. I've got it. I've got this. I'm going to give myself some more space.
I'm always so excited when Matthew says he's got this.
Massively optimistic. I'm still going to do that greater than zero stuff. I'll let you put on the other two, and then I'm going to have a loop. I'm going to add a loop via a gate of some kind.
That could actually work, yeah.
See what I'm going for here?
I see what you're going for, yeah. I think it can work, yeah.
I'm going to loop I'm going to put in another gate. I don't know if I need it or not, but
we can even hello.
Hello. What do you think?
Welcome to the massive fail live stream. We can even. I was gonna suggest we can even make it random in the case that you.
Oh, you
I don't
play
know.
a random card. Oh,
In the case that when you finish your available cards, I don't know if I don't know if there's like an international rule set for top trump games, but maybe you shuffle your deck before playing it again. If we make it deterministic, then you don't shuffle, right? If you make it random, then you do shuffle.
yeah. And then they're only going to be available if
yes, if you have it, yeah.
If I make that 0, that should be work. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. I'll just clean up our features. I don't worry.
Now I'm thinking, the next step I'm thinking is simulating the fact that after you play a card, you can no longer play it until you've played the rest of your cards, right? So you see, they're playing the. You get what I mean, right?
Oh, so actually, what we could do is we could replace this all together, make this a source. I'm loving your thinking.
I am loving my thinking as well, but I don't know what you're doing right now.
I think
but
you're genius, Cesar. Coming up with this, you are on it like a car bonnet. So now I'm going to have that be make some nice red runs. Oh, I've done a double automatic. What am I thinking?
Yes.
That's why I did it red. Did it red to signify don't do that. And then once they're all full, then if you drain them, like all of your available ones are full, drain and start again.
Yes,
and randomizing which card you're going to have, and you shuffle at the end of each one.
Fair enough, and we can also like disable. Exactly. You're ahead of me.
Less than one.
So this is so that you don't get to play the multiple.
Yeah.
I'm asking myself right now, and I'm not sure if that works. If we just set the capacity of 1.
Oh yeah.
I wonder what happens. I wonder if it's possible for the resources to go through the one that's blocked. I remember I've tried this before. I don't remember the results though. It comes with age, I guess. Let's remove the conditions.
Oh, that works fine. Doing all these extra state connections for no reason.
So it does work, okay.
That was a bit odd though. What happened there?
I changed it mid-execution.
Oh, each fiddling with it.
Yeah, okay. So we don't need the extra connections there. We can just set the capacity of 1. And after we reach the total of 10 cards played, or no, we should track each deck.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to do a counter there anyway.
Exactly. But I was thinking, what are we gonna count? Because that's
we're gonna count the number of cards that they have and the number of cards that they played.
Yes.
And then compare them and then trigger the drain.
That sounds good, but remember that if a player loses, they lose their cards.
Yeah.
So the red ones are gonna be lower then.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, you're clever, Cesar.
That's why we need to have a look at the...
Yeah.
But I don't know how to do it. But you get what I mean, right? Because you're gonna lose cards. But on the top, you're gonna have it as if you've played those cards.
Yeah. I think
we can. We may be overcomplicated it. We will never know. There's a question. When capacity is set on 1, the source and the random gate work each step, but the source won't go into the pulse. They don't work. Can you play again, Matthew?
Yeah, let me slow it right down.
basically what happens is that the pools, because they're set to, you can showcase the drain versus block overflow, right?
Yeah.
So you're right, the source does produce them, but the capacity blocks resources from going into the pools.
If I make that a drain,
it's gonna be the same idea, because they're gonna go through towards the pool, but they're not gonna enter the pool, they're gonna be drained. So it's gonna look like this. Yeah.
So with block, it's blocked before it gets there. With drain, it's drained when it gets to the pool.
Exactly. The result is the same in the end. In this case, there are cases where it's more efficient to do it one way or the other. You know what, Matthew? I think we're gonna need, if you were gonna suggest an idea that simplifies this, I'm all ears, but I think we're gonna need to count how many cards the player has left, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
And once that reaches 0, like cards in hand, I mean, or cards in the deck that haven't been played, and once that reaches 0, we can drain the whole thing.
Ooh.
I think I know how we can count. You're not gonna like it. I think I know how you can count. Because again, the way you count them now, if they lose them,
They've lost them, yeah.
they're only gonna be 0 when they lose all the cards, right? Because you're counting the ones that they have in the deck, the way it is right now. Since you're drawing from the red pools and you're adding them, only when the player is left with no cards in general will that be 0, right?
Maybe just for the sake of trying to get a working model by the end of this stream, we just make that automatic and we ignore all of this stuff, and it just deals a random card, and we use that as the trigger to pick which card's being played.
We can do that just for the sake of it.
It's not going to be perfection.
Yeah, sure.
We always strive for here on the Machinations channel, but it might get us to a point where we've got something playable before the next 37 minutes. Because now it's just going to randomly send one into the here. And yeah, no, actually this works really well, because this way we can do, if greater than 0 on this, from this pool to the compare. Are you with me?
I am not. I was checking the fact that the pool on the left has a capacity of -1.
Was it? Oh,
I've changed it. Yeah, now I'm with you.
so if we then did a formula into here from each card, that was something like A and B. Bear with me, this is genius, I'm sure it is. So now A times B plus C times D, etc, etc, etc. So whichever resource that goes into will then have a number here for one step, and it'll be comparing the two.
So you're comparing that.
So let me hit.
But why are you comparing?
There'll be 2 seed deals into there as well.
Why is 8 coming from the register?
This is genius, Chazza. You just. I'm a blowing your mind. I can tell. So I've got A, B, C, D. So now when I hit play, when a resource comes into here,
I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
I see what you mean.
That's gonna be 87.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
So whichever card comes up, it then say 87.
Whoever is in charge of the music deserves a drink.
Oh.
Matthew, treat yourself.
Riot's new free creator content. Look, I'll flash it up on the screen. There it is. They made a whole bunch of music for streaming for free. Isn't that nice of them? So that kind of works, but it's going to mean a lot of state connections. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to skip E and just go to F. Make that tidy.
The reason Matthew is skipping E is because at some point in time, in the earlier days, E would be considered the mathematical constant and would sometimes screw up formulas. I am pretty sure that is fixed now, but we still have the psychological scars from back then, so we both kind of avoid using E and I both. I is sometimes read as the imaginary number, which I don't think is the case anymore, but we still avoid it.
That's I. So I'm going to move that on to J.
Disgusting. Yeah. And that's going to be the value of the red player card.
That's going to be the value of the red player card. So I'll let you do that for the blue player card.
Yes, I will.
Well, actually, let's build that whole construction again for the blue. You do the register. I'll do the rest of the randomness that we have there.
Sure.
While Jezza's doing the register shenanigans, I'm going to show you a top tip, which is when you want to get the spacing right. Select one, double click it, and then delete that resource, and it puts it the perfect distance apart to keep your model super neat. And then you can automatically line up the rest. At least we've got some funky music going, because this is going to be where'd that go? This is going to be ever so slightly dull now, so I'm going to just do some construction quickly. Gate here. Somebody's doing some roofing next door.
I had someone working next door as well. Yeah.
I've got the crisp microphone background noise thing working. Amazing. Blocks out everything. So it's actually really noisy, but hopefully you don't hear it. This stream is not sponsored by Crisp. But if they're watching, please give us free licenses. I'm almost done. How are you getting on?
I've done the register. I've added the states and everything.
Also, it's just me being slow. Okay, good. Right, this is going to be my blue player. Got our red player, we've got our blue player. Ooh. So now it's randomly selecting which card to do.
I think we should make them instant so we have time to see what's going on again.
Good idea. I'll do the blue ones, you do the red ones.
Yes. And another tip for everyone watching is that during so you'll see that we're currently doing interactive runs. During interactive runs, doesn't really matter if it's interval or instant, but during quick runs, every connection is treated as instant. So if you sometimes see differences between your interactive runs and your quick runs, it's going to be because of that interval versus instant connection. We are working on that to change it to a beginning versus end of step type of logic instead of interval or instant.
Sweet, so we've got we made that. Do the same. Active gate, passive source, active automatic drain. So now that we're generating numbers based on which card's been chosen, we need to add the logic to move which pool this resource is in, depending on who wins. So if the resource is there, I'm going to step this. So is that actually a 0?
Did we roll a 0 in there?
It rolled a 0 in there, brilliant. But that gives us an idea. So this card versus this card, we now need to move this resource from here to here. These are set up as pull any. How are we going to do that?
Yeah, we need to compare them. You thought you would escape the complicated part, but you didn't. So we need to compare them, and the tricky part here is we actually have to check which cards we compared, right?
Yeah. We have to know. Well, I think actually, so there's got to be something around pulling greater than 0 from here.
Yes.
Combined with the compare. Because it could be any one of these 4 pools.
Let me think. I think obviously there's going to be connections again, but I think what we can do is we can assign for each of those. So watch what I'm doing on the bottom left. For each of the pools, we assign them their own gate, which is going to act as a trigger. So we're going to have to set this as a trigger. And we're going to condition them by comparison. So let me think here. We're going to have to obviously compare the two. So we're going to need a middle register in here and send the 2 values in, A and B, compare them, A, B, line them up. And once we compare them, I think we can use that logic that you said, that we check which card was played, which is going to come from, if you can scroll down a bit. So from, I'm just drawing lines now, but from the pool here, we should also check that it's, this card was played.
Yeah.
And we should make the transfer using that card. So I'm not sure if this is supposed to be.
Condition it from this pool and then trigger it one way or the other from.
Yeah.
We want a trigger, not a.
Yes, condition. We want a trigger, yes. I'm thinking about how to do it, but yeah, we want a trigger from here and we want the condition. I'm not sure how it's going to work, if the trigger comes first or the condition comes first.
Oh, trigger from the pool, condition from the
comparison. Yes.
Oh, genius, Cheza. I was thinking about trying to do it the other way and it wouldn't work. But that way...
I don't know if this works as well, actually. I don't know.
Oh, it's going to need a lot of them. And we're probably going to need a bunch more space. So I'm going to do that. I'll tell you what, Cheza, I'll do the easy moving stuff. You do the really hard logic. How about that? For a slice of right.
That sounds very fair.
I think so.
Yeah, I'll go play a bit on my side to see if comparing actually does something.
But it has broken all of my beautiful connections. Oh, that music kind of tapered off to quite a sad ending.
You know, everyone on this stream can hear the music except me, so...
Oh!
You're all blessed. When we're dragging connections, I have to sit here in silence.
I could sing to you, Cheza. Would you like that?
If it would only be my personal torture, then it would be fine, but...
Yeah. I'm tidying up connections beautifully.
You know, I'm pretty sure that the way in which the order in which the connections will work is actually the one in which we build them. Like the one with the lower ID will check first. So if we make the condition first and then the trigger, the condition will trigger first, will activate the node, and then the trigger can successfully trigger it. And I hope I'm right, because that's what I'm going to be counting on.
Beautiful, almost beautiful. So shall I set up a bunch more gates? What have you been doing?
I'm trying to figure out if it works or not.
Oh.
Which I can't determine.
I thought you'd been busy, and I looked around and...
I have been busy, but not dragging arrows. I'm trying to figure out if it works or not.
Work here. It's fine. I'm just going to duplicate what you've done.
Duplicate it. It might be... You might delete it all. It's all I'm saying. Don't be disappointed if you end up deleting it all.
How long we got? 22 minutes, Cheza. Boom, boom. You're doing your thinking face.
Yeah, I am thinking. But now, if I were alone, if I weren't on a stream right now, I would just have 500 connections in here, hide them behind the layer, wouldn't even care. I'm thinking about how to make it so it's not a spider web.
I don't think there's any avoiding making a spider web, because I don't quite understand what you've done here. You've got to...
Yeah, because we need to trigger it based on the, you know, what card are we stealing?
You've got that coming from the wrong pool.
No, I don't, because they're set to pool, right? And this gate that we have on the bottom assumes that blue wins, right? So we check that blue wins the card that red played.
Hold on.
So red needs to play the card that blue wins.
Let's do some stepping.
Yeah, I did some stepping. maybe I'll see better on your screen.
So this one's coming here. This one's coming here. This one is now generating the number of 38. So blue is winning. So I want this one to come to here.
Yeah, this should be lower than 0, not higher than 0. Okay.
So then this pool, which is set to pull any, needs to be triggered.
Yes.
And so the trigger needs to come from...
The trigger needs to come from the card that is going to be stolen.
Yeah. No, but it needs to come from the pool above it, not the...
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah. So that should then trigger this, because this is then available.
Yes, and the pool should draw the card from the other player. So reset and play again, because I changed the condition mid-execution. Hopefully it...
So we've got the same thing again, that was lucky. So here and here, we've got a 52 and a 41. 52 wins. So
yeah, but it's not triggering.
Is not triggering.
Yeah, the other way was to use, check both conditions. Like, it requires an extra register, but we make the gates automatic basically. So the gate here that we use trigger for, we make it automatic, and we condition it by the fact that.
Oh, so it's got to have both fulfilled.
Yes, exactly. That was the other way. It's thank you for wishing us luck. It's a little bit late, or actually, it's the perfect time that we get lucky with this.
This theme for today, Jezza. I like it. It's super ambitious.
It is. This is what happens when we don't have
anybody to
an idea. Yeah, or an idea of what to build. Like where we go in and just say, okay, let's just build something on the spot. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
This is how hard it can be.
But we did do top trumps first. I built this myself in less than a couple of minutes. This beautiful construction, and that worked great.
I do agree. So I'm gonna send it one as A and one as B, and do the check of what equal. If you get at least one comparison right, then I'll be happy. I will be satisfied.
I just saw a resource move, Jezza.
I am doing...
got it automatically in there, yeah.
And this is gonna be greater than 0. Maybe we try now. Let's see what's happening. Do a step. Maybe we get lucky again.
That went the wrong way. I'm going to stop it and restart it.
Yes.
Oh, come on, Machinations.
We got lucky with the first comparisons. It's bound to get unlucky with the next ones.
That's it. I'm not going to risk it.
It's fine. No, it's fine. Oh, it went in the wrong. Yeah.
It's going to go where I want it to
I was watching the. Yeah.
There we go.
Cheating.
So we've got one coming in here. We've got an 80 versus a 90. Red's lost.
Yes.
So our A is sending out -1.
Yes.
So A equals A to -1. Yes. Times B.
Larger B than 0. So if.
So where's B come from?
Red played the card that is gonna get stolen.
That makes sense, and that's gonna now fire the trigger.
Yes.
One step. Lost the card. Amazing.
Yes.
Our card's been cleared from up here. No longer available. So now we just have to do that 7 more times.
Yes.
Made it sound easy then. Actually, it's not. I'll do the ones along the bottom, you do the ones along the top, because you have to rethink the entire formula, and I'm really lazy.
Yes. Yeah, okay, sure, fair enough.
What I'm going to do, I'm just going to Jump into this box here. Copy. Jump into here, paste. Then I need to grab a B from up there. Drop that into there. That's B. That looks fairly tidy. I'm then going to do that again. Make sure it's all beautifully lined up.
Okay.
Make sure that's set to automatic. Automatic because it's being conditioned by the register. Here's my register. That's my A. I just can't have any connections going over objects.
Oh, then you're gonna not like what I did.
It just that is just too messy for me.
It's chaos on my side. It's hell.
Oh, what?
I am disgusting.
Right, one more to go on my side.
God, you move so fast. I'm on the second one. Yeah, we can't. I was thinking if we can use the same register for more of them, but we can't. I mean, we could, but let's not.
I don't think it saves. Oh,
yeah, it saves space, but it adds on time, and we're kind of out of time. So.
Oh, we got 13 minutes. We're going to have loads of time left over. So please, anybody watching, if you've got any questions about what we've been building today or just about Machinations in general, I'm going to be super optimistic and say we're going to be done in no time.
That's a good estimate.
Feeling positive about this now. I'll do the last one for you.
Yeah, sure, but did you connect everything? Oh my god, you even positioned them. Oh my god.
I am that good, Cesar.
Holy.
I can copy.
How can you navigate between all of these connections?
Eyes of a hawk.
Yeah. Hands of a surgeon.
What do you got? You got A. What a big screen and a super expensive Razer mouse. Again, not sponsored by Razer, but if you want to send me free stuff, please do. Super optimistic that Razer would care at all. Oh, it's exactly the same formula, isn't it? No, because it's different.
No, it's the same formula every time. I mean, the top ones are the same for all of them. The bottom ones are the same for all of them.
So we're in a position where we can hit play yet.
I think we
your
can.
Horrific, all of your disgusting connections. Look at them.
You arranged yours. I can't even copy you.
Right, I'm going to make it 2 seconds a step. And I'm going to hit play and see what happens.
We're going to tidy this up.
You're going to tidy it up. I've done my side beautiful. Your side's the messy side. Don't drag me into your spaghetti chaos. I haven't been paying attention now, but someone won. This player won.
Are cards being exchanged? Yeah, okay.
Let's pay attention this time, Chaz. I'm going to step it.
Yes.
So first hand, this one and this one. We've got a 27 and a 98. That's a convincing win. So hopefully this resource is going
This
to
card will be, yeah, that the fourth card should be stolen.
Step it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice.
You love it when you see it.
So, hang on. We've got a resource in here, but we've got no resource up here. Oh.
Because why? Actually, first of all, you have one of the chances at 0, but that shouldn't matter.
Maybe
just an
that's
observation.
why.
It shouldn't matter, I think.
I think it does matter, because actually it means we haven't got enough cards. Because that step.
Oh.
So now we're comparing this one and this one. We've got a 47 and a 13.
So the one on the left should be transferred.
This resource should be transferred. Step it. Yes. This is now this one. And you know what we need to do? We need to slow this down.
Yes, you are right. Exactly. We need to push every 2 steps. Yes.
Every 2 steps. And this is going to go through every 1 step, but I don't really suppose it matters.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
So this is far from perfect, but let's do a step. No, see,
can you zoom in?
It won't work now because it's got an interval of 2, so I have to press it twice.
Yeah, it's gonna do it on the second step. It's fine.
Yeah. So we've got one there. We've got one there. We've got a 63. We've got a 17.
Can you zoom in?
So, yeah. Okay. So blue's clearly winning.
Yes.
Next step.
So the third card is yeah.
No,
now we're gonna push new cards.
1 card available.
Yes. It's gonna be that
Only
card.
got 1 card to play.
Yes.
Blue
played the third
card. We've got a 10.
But red is winning, so they're gonna steal the third one.
Yes. Come on.
Yes.
But now
yes, this is beautiful.
Beautiful. Made top trumps with 4 whole cards, Jezza.
This is the hard part, obviously, because from now on it's just copy pasting and arranging stuff, because the formulas are just the same. Everything is the same. Like you just need to add pools and just add the same structure over and over and over again. So it's not that bad.
And we're going to do that because we've got 8 minutes left.
Wow, I really wish. I mean, we could, but that would be torture. We could also answer any questions anyone has. Maybe if they didn't understand anything from this model, or if they have any questions in general, I would much rather we answer questions than you humiliating me again in the speed at which you produce those connections.
That's true. So red's got 1 card left. I just want to see who's going to win this top trumps battle. We've got a 71. Oh, it's all over. Red's lost. Red's got no cards left.
We could punch an end condition, right, when one of them wins. But I think they're going to be, kind of short execution.
We tried to avoid counting how many cards they've got, but I don't think there's any avoiding it to see for an end condition.
Yeah, but that's not going to be like... those are 2 separate things, because we were counting how many cards they have available, they haven't already played, so it's 2 separate things.
Let's do a couple of games then, just because I want to
just because we want to stall.
Pleasure of watching it play is beautiful. Watching those little counters move between red and blue is a thing of beauty.
All this work so we can move a bunch of resources back and forth.
Yeah. But for anybody watching, here's a massively overly complicated Machinations model of top trumps with 4 whole cards. So the way in which I would scale this up, and this is a top tip for anybody, is you might be thinking, oh, we just need that section there copied. Whenever I'm planning on taking something as complex as this and scaling it up, I like to grab all of it and stick it over here. I'm then going to align it beautifully, obviously. Oh, where's that little... There we go. Then I look at, say, this construction here, you can see I've got a bunch of connections coming into here. I would then delete the ones I don't need, drag this over to here, and then zoom in real close on this part and attach them from here onto here.
That is a top tip, actually.
Much easier to do than trying to work out all the connections one by one, or drawing the connections for the first time each time. So I then do the same with my drain. This is why I'm so fast, Cesar. I get
yeah. This is actually good advice. Like, I'm gonna try this out next time.
It's so much faster than trying to link all of these into the right places. Now that's going to just trigger me though. I can't have that there. It's going to have to be moved over there. That connection's going to be a pain, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Of course it is.
So nice and tranquil bit of music. What else do we have too many of? Oh, we've got our gate thing. Get these in here. I reckon we can get to a game with 8 cards. Maybe. Oh, there's all the register things, isn't there? Speed run this.
Wait, what are you doing now?
I'm moving the... No, that one doesn't need to be moved.
No, they don't need to.
It's just these 3, isn't it? Oh, you know what the problem is, though? We're not going to get this done in 2 minutes.
Of course not.
Because we've got this giant formula in here with all the different letters. And we can't...
Yeah, we need to add letters for each of them. We can also do, like, if you dislike doing A, B, C, D, you can do A1, A2, B1, B2. I mean, you can even type words.
Yeah, I like it.
So you know which comes from where.
Yeah. Nice. This was super good fun today. Chesa, you going to finish that off? That model off, do you think?
We are going to work on it. Yeah, we can finish the 8 cards.
At any point during the live streams, in the description, there's a link directly to this model. As we're editing it, if you want to see the refreshes, if you just click on that link again, it'll take you through to it. But right now, if you go down to the description, hit the link, it'll take you to this model where you can have a look at it and play about with it and see who wins, red or blue.
Yes, and I advise, if you do want to save this, or maybe you feel if you do want to save this, I would wait until tomorrow so we polish it. Other than that, if you're feeling generous and you think you can handle the connections yourself, feel free to use it now.
Yeah. Perfect. This has been loads of fun. Thanks everybody for coming by and watching the stream. As you can see, we've just picked a random theme this week. Please, if you have any questions, please do come and ask them. If you had to explain Machinations in the simplest way possible, what would you say? Machinations takes the guesswork out of your game design and balance. Is the super short answer. The whole purpose of this is, even with a model like this, actually, you can use Machinations to visualize the game design, understand the impact of these different dynamics. We've created this so that it's generating random numbers. So each time we start a setup, it's going to have a randomly generated card stats. It'd be really easy to take a model like this and actually apply real stats from it. I think I've got some top trumps somewhere. I could have grabbed a card deck and stuck some real stats into it, and then see the impact of what those stats mean if a particular card is overpowered or underpowered, and see the impact of the game balance by creating real stats. Really, really helpful to see where you might not necessarily understand initially what the impact of your design and your balancing is. In Machinations, you can see all of it, and rather than guessing and thinking it's going to be okay, you know exactly what's going on. Nice.
That was a very simple explanation. Very simple explanation.
When's the next webinar? Is that tomorrow, Chesa?
Yeah, tomorrow's the 101, where we walk through every node and explain what they do, every connection. So it's aimed towards beginners, or those of you that have never seen Machinations or are unsure about what every node does.
There it is, tomorrow. We've got two sessions, Wednesday and Thursday. If anybody's watching and you didn't quite follow everything we were doing today, and I wouldn't be surprised because we were making it up, please do join us in one of the 101 sessions that Cesar's going to run, and learn all about Machinations. But thank you very, very much for joining us. We've had lots of fun today. It's been really good building this model, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week when we'll pick something else to build and hopefully answer some of your questions.
Yes. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Thanks. I'm going to work out which button to press. See you all next time.